story. The Striking Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has said that the government has not at any time indicated that it does not have money to fund the union's demands and the university education. Amo and Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi, who said that it was unreasonable for the federal government to borrow over 1 trillion naira. ASU has been on strike since the 14th of February 2022 after submitting its demands, which were being renegotiated by the Professor Nimi Briggs Committee set up by the federal government. Now, it may interest you to note that today, yes, today makes it 180 days since Nigerian students of public universities have been at home. Now, let that sink in. 180 days. How do we even sleep at night? Yes, 180 days. They say an idle mind is the devil's workshop, all right? 180 days, Nigerian students have been at home. Some doing nothing, some trying to look for alternatives. And this impasse between the federal government and ASU. But ASU is saying that federal government has not told them that they don't have money. According to the Punch, federal government hasn't informed ASU of cash crunch. This is according to the ASU chairman, ASU president, Professor Bashedeke. Away from that, let's move over to the Vanguard. And from the Vanguard, a thieving story. Thieves storm Katsina State Government House, steal 31 million naira. Thieves storm Katsina State Government House, steal 31 million naira. I don't know. I don't want to laugh about this story, but they said they've reported this to the police. They stormed the government house and stole 31 million naira. All right, still coming from the Vanguard. Don't disappoint us. President Muhammad Buhari tells new ECOWAS president. Don't disappoint us. President Buhari tells new ECOWAS president. Still coming from the Vanguard. Kaduna train attack. Why I didn't use military force to rescue victims. This is according to President Muhammad Buhari. Why I didn't use military force to rescue victims, with the rider meets with relatives of victims, assures of safe return of all in captivity. Now, a quick story from here. They said President Muhammad Buhari said yesterday that his decision to stop maximum use of military force against terrorists to rescue the remaining victims of the Kaduna train attack was to avoid collateral damage. This is according to the president. That if he goes all out force on the terrorists, there might be collateral damage. Do you agree with him? I'll leave you to answer that. All right, we'll move away from the Vanguard newspaper to the Guardian. This one says presidency turn of South despite religion. Akeredolu insists with the rider Lalong. Pope hasn't opposed my DG appointment. Proud to lead APC's Muslim ticket campaign as a Catholic. Resign as vice presidential candidate to save APC from an embarrassing defeat. Middle Belt Congress tells Shatima. Lalong's appointment as Tinubu campaign DG political miscalculation, says Group. Now here's the story. The chairman of the Southern Governors Forum and Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu yesterday insisted that the presidency of Nigeria must come to the south next year, not to thwart the power rotation arrangement in the country. He also condemned the incursion of religion into politics, urging that citizens should not be distracted by religion in making their choices during the 2023 general elections. From the Guardian newspaper, presidency turn of South despite religion, Akeredolu insists. I saw that interview on channels yesterday where he was saying that if he doesn't care who wins, if it is the APC candidate that wins, if it is the Labour Party candidate that wins, he doesn't care. All he just wants is let power return to the South. That's all he cares about. Even if it's Peter Obi, even if it's Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he doesn't care. Just make sure that power returns to the South. Okay. Away from that, to this day newspaper, with this bold headline saying that 5 presidential guards killed in gunfight with terrorists buried. 5 presidential guards killed in gunfight with terrorists. Now, the remains of the 5 gallant presidential guards, they were killed, all right, they were buried yesterday, and it was in fact a very, very sad one, All right, move over to the Premium Times, and this one has been, it was all over. It was trending yesterday. Talk about the $418 million Paris Club fee. The AGF, Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, tackles governors, says deductions justified. Now, in case you don't know what this story is all about, it's about a deduction from the Federation accounts. It's a $418 million Paris Club refund. So apparently, the governors had gotten a consultant to do some, forensic audits. And now they claim that the consultants were collecting too much money. Well, my question now is, when they were negotiating with them, what were they thinking? Because this consultant, but the Governors Forum is saying that let's go to court. All right, let's go to court. The president has actually told the AGF to halt the payment. But some are even saying that why is the AGF defending this private consultant? Why? So there's this back and forth with the governors. All right, the NGF and the Paris Club refund, they've already expended this money, and this money is going to be deducted from the state coffers. But we don't know. Let's just see how this plays out. Okay, maybe a couple of days we'll see the outcome of this. But our final story is from this story. Motorist kick as last mile impounds faulty car here in Lagos. Now, here's the story. An event planner has accused men of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority last month of working with hoodlums to impound vehicles on Lagos roads. Now, the 38-year-old stated that his car started overheating around Anthony bus stop, Maryland, on the 4th of August when he pulled over to allow it to cool down. Now, he said some touts asked him to pay 10,000 naira to help him push the car off the expressway to the service lane, but he told them that he only had 2,000 naira. Now, the event planner said that the group threatened that last mile officials would tow away his car, adding that shortly afterwards, some officials of the agency showed up and took his vehicle away. But the point is it my fault that my car got faulty and you're charging me for this? But you want to get more of this story, grab a copy of this day newspaper. Grab a copy of the Punch newspaper saying that motorist kick as last mile impounds faulty car. So let's talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about this, Lagos. Let's talk about this. All right, remember, it's freshly pressed. My name is Benga Oreshegun. I have Adiola Samo right here in the building. I also have Achike Chude. Good morning. Good morning once again. Good morning. Yeah. All right, we have some bold. And remember, you can also be a part of the conversation. All right, the numbers to call is 0916-201-1053. And you can also call the alternative number 0905-668-1053. I'll start taking the calls maybe after 15 minutes, but let me allow my analyst to talk about these stories first. Let's start with from the Punch newspaper. I'll start with you, Adiola. Yeah. Wike sues Atiku. Tambuwal demands recognition as candidate. But according to the story, he said that Tambuwal had come up stage first to say that, hey, talking to the delegates, vote for me. Give me your votes. He had gone, then came back on stage to say that, don't vote for me again. Vote for Atiku. And because of that, Wike is suing him that what he's done is illegal, that his vote should be void, and that he should be the candidate. Is Wike right with this one?
There are things that just make me laugh, especially when you call me legatozu. I think within the right of any contender, provided by the law, both electoral laws and the constitutional right, he has the right to withdraw at any point in time. At any point in time, except after the election must have started.
Okay.
If as long as the election has not started and somebody said, okay, I'm contesting, and later said, okay, I am no longer contesting, it's within his inalienable right. During the Congress of Convention of APC, the man that's supposed to be a contestant for the chairmanship with Abdullahi
Okay.
did not step down until the late minutes. He has came on board
Okay.
to announce his candidacy and address so that his
Okay.
delegates to vote for him until late Aland, and he has to step down and ask his supporters, quote and unquote, to vote for the party's choice.
But why the confusion? Why can't you make up your mind the first time you came on board? The first time you climbed the stage to say, hey, vote for me. And you go down, allegedly, maybe there was some negotiations, all right? Then you come back to now say, okay, don't vote for me again. I was only joking that time.
If I said I want to eat, waiter served me food, and the waiter brought the food, and I said, no, I'm not eating again as long as I pay the money to the waiter for the cost of the food. What is the business?
Oh, you need to go
Wike
that
is
way.
trying to be a medusum interloper. I just because it is the business of the contestant.
It is the
Does
business.
the Wike sponsors Tambua to buy the form? Was he the one that sponsored him to ferry the delegates to that place?
No, but for the confusion, though.
There is no confusion
To show that you can't make up your mind.
there is no confusion anywhere. I can make up my mind, say I'm coming down to eat. I'm giving you an example, an analogy, and I come down and say, you serve me the food, I just look at it. I can lose my appetite immediately and say, look, I'm not eating again, as long as the money is paid.
Okay.
And when it comes to the issue of legality of election, until the election has started, and it now came up and no, that's wrong. That would
Okay, it was during the time of manifesto.
it was that during the time within the purview of time that anybody can withdraw.
Anybody can withdraw.
Yeah.
All right, Achike Chude, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think Wike is a lawyer, and I think I suspect.
A live bench.
Yeah, and I suspect that he knows he's not going anywhere with that matter. What he wants to do is to put a spanner in the works for the PDP, to also show that he's in a position to affect them adversely the way they have affected his ambitions. And so far it is working. Of course, you know that the government house in Rivers State has become a pilgrimage since this crisis started, with governors from all over.
Yeah,
even the Lagos State governor was there the other time.
Yes.
You have governors from the north, you have leaders of the PDP visiting him and all that. So he has become somebody to be contended with. And obviously his case is a funny case. Saying that this man promised to give me his votes and then change his mind. He has the way, the law, the constitution grants him the right to have an opinion and to change that opinion. Exactly, whenever he wants.
I know the same.
So I think it puts PDP in a bind. And makes it difficult for them to actually proceed meaningfully.
Okay.
Because he's lucky now, for instance, that if Wike is saying that he has been cheated out of the process, he's lucky that he has not gotten an injunction to say, look, PDP cease all electoral related activities until Wike's matter has been resolved. So it's a problem that PDP can ill afford. It doesn't bode well for them.
Okay.
Perhaps I think Wike eventually, I predict, will withdraw that matter.
Okay.
But after more entreaties have been made to him, and perhaps promises of rewards one way or the other.
But does he have a right to? People. It's a matter of win or lose. Does he have a right to?
Let me say this.
Unfortunately
for Wike, Tambuwa too is a lawyer.
Yes.
That's number one. Number two, Tambuwa may not even blink, being a lawyer. You understand?
Knowing that it's.
From such a case, he's filing.
But the target is not really Tambuwa. The target is the
because the matter is going nowhere. So nobody will lose sleep over that.
Exactly.
Area I wanted Wike to have sued the PDP if he meant business.
Okay.
It is the area of themselves violating their own constitution, rotational presidency from the north to the south.
That makes sense.
But according to Atiku, the interview he had with I think your channels, saying that there was nothing like that.
The constitution is clear. I think their section 70, or can I use maybe paragraph or whatever it is that they use, article 17 or something of the constitution of the PDP is there in black and white. It is there in black and white. It's not something to be, it's not debatable. Article may be, economical with the truth or trying to put a bold face. Is there, right there. That the area I thought maybe he would have that alone may not also at the end of the day fly, yes, but at least it will shake them beyond this. This one, I will not even blink an eyelid. But for that, because at the end of the day, their constitution supposed to be their guiding principle. Regardless of what that constitution of Nigeria say, their own constitution is their rule, is their operational rules. So you cannot violate your operational rule and wanted to claim plausibility. And so being that it's May, that would have been the best way of shaking them. If you want to shake them, that I step down and I say, okay, I can step down and I can say, okay, I'm no longer stepping down, I'm contesting again. For as long as the election was still going on, has not started as at the time I said both. There is nothing to fight against about. Well, the court is there. I hope it's going to be in federal high court, not state high court. If it's in state high court, well, the caricature can go on up to the appeal court. But if it is to rattle them like Achike said, if it is a state high court, he is the alpha and omega of the Rivers State High Court. He can do and not do. Then they will now be going and be fighting themselves at appeal court, which everybody knows that it will go the other way, but it will cause a delay, a kind of panic, like so. But as far as his federal high court, he's just going nowhere. He's just wasting the time and the process time of the court.
All right, then it's still freshly pressed on 105.3 FM Lagos. We'll be going on this quick break. Don't touch that radio. My name is Benga Orashegun.
Freshly pressed.
Freshly pressed.
More than newspaper headlines, reviews, and previews. It's the very essence of national discourse served fresh every day to keep you abreast of events and happenings in and around Nigeria. Freshly pressed on Fresh 105.3 Lagos.
The International Family Foundation is a non-governmental organization with the primary focus of bringing attention to the challenges of the family whilst preferring solutions that will help in uplifting the life of entire members of families as a basis for improving the society as a whole. The IFF will be having a special activity tagged Let's Take a Walk 2.0, which is an exercise where its members in the Lagos chapter will embark on a 5-kilometer walk to keep their minds and body relaxed, considering the pressure we are all facing in these difficult times. The program is scheduled for Saturday, 13th August 2022. Takeoff point is Archbishop Vinin Memorial Church. Time is 7 a.m. International Family Foundation. Better family, better society. Proudly supported by Fresh 105.3 FM.
Inflation Vaccine 2.0 brought to you by Famol. The hour is now to be empowered for success. Let's come together from Saturday 13th to Sunday the 14th of August 2022 to learn how to survive and excel in these hard times. In this 2-day conference, you will gain access to practical knowledge and insight that will give you competitive advantage in your world. Program highlights include how to qualify for Turkey trip, motivational talks from leaders, raffles, and lots more. Speakers are Hadiza Zakari, Senior Manager, Bruce Cole, Country Manager, Faith Igene, Top African Director. Inflation Vaccine 2.0 will be coming up from Saturday 13th to Sunday 14th of August 2022 at Famol Office Complex, number 6 Allen Avenue, off Tony Street, Ikeja, Lagos. Time Saturday 12 p.m. and on Sunday by 1 p.m. For more inquiries, please call 0906 153 8169. Don't miss it. Famol, family is all.
Every morning is an opportunity to take your hustle to the next level. So, start every day with a great tasting cup of Nescafe 3-in-1. Just add water and enjoy the perfect blend of coffee, creamer, and sugar with that rich, creamy taste you love. To help you start strong and make every morning count. Start strong, finish strong. Nescafe.
ǹlẹ́ o ó jọ pé o kì í fẹ́ fọkàn tán èèyàn kì í ṣe ohun tó burú o àpọ̀ ń bẹ̀ nígbà tó jẹ́ pé àwùjọ orí ayélujára yìí ti fi mú wa fọ́n fèrè torí náà tí ọkàn rẹ ò bá balẹ̀ láti fi káàdì rẹ sanwó lórí ayélujára tàbí o fẹ́ràn láti rí nǹkan tó o fẹ́ rà lójúkojú kó o tó sanwó kò sí yọnu tó o bá rajà lórí Jumia o lè ní sùúrù kọjá náà di ẹnu ọ̀nà ilé rẹ kó o tó sanwó ẹ pẹ̀lú káàdì tàbí owó gangan torí náà ra ọjà lórí Jumia lónìí kó sì jẹ ìgbádùn ètò sanwó kó o gba ọjà òfin àtìlànà wà o Jumia, your everyday delivered.
Freshly pressed.
Freshly pressed.
More than newspaper headlines, reviews, and previews. It's the very essence of national discourse served fresh every day to keep you abreast of events and happenings in and around Nigeria. Freshly pressed on Fresh 105.3 Lagos.
All right, still freshly pressed on 105.3 FM Lagos. My name is Benga Oreshogun. I still have Achika Chude right here and Adiola Samuel. All right, so away from that, all right, let's talk education. All right, and this is coming from the Punch newspaper. This one says that federal government has not informed ASU of cash crunch. That's according to Professor Shodeke, saying the federal government has not informed them that they are broke. Do you think ASU is being economical with the truth? Let me start with you, Achike.
When you make a statement like this, it's left for the other people to respond. You understand?
Okay.
So, but I would be surprised if the government has not said anything like that, as if admitting that they are broke or they don't have the money will stop ASU from asking for what is rightly theirs.
No, but during the negotiations with the Minister of Labour, Chris Ngige, the negotiation, the back and forth, the minister had always told them that they can't afford these things. Okay, hence the reason why with the back and forth. But they're now saying that they're not.
You see, sometimes there's something about ASU. In some of the previous conversations they had, even when Okonjo-Iweala was Minister of Finance, and of course you know that Okonjo-Iweala was thorough, as she also knew her job.
Yes.
ASU also come with presentations. Why the federal government, also bring their own presentations about the state of the economy. ASU also has an idea about what is going on within the economy, and they also counter with figures, with graphs to also show the government, yes, this might be true, this is certainly, not true. But then but you see, there are things that we are forgetting in this discussion that are also critical to resolving some of the contradictions of the Nigerian state. Not long ago, I think I had mentioned in the studio here, and then the Minister of State for Petroleum, I think Timi Preseva. Timi Preseva said again recently that Nigeria is losing billions of naira every day to oil theft. Now, a government that is in dire straits financially, a government that is struggling to meet up with its obligation, a government that we are told has to borrow money to pay salaries, if that is the truth. You understand? Can it afford to see these wastages in the oil sector, the driving sector of the Nigeria's economy, the mainstay of Nigeria's economy? Is it not possible that, for you to block these loopholes so that these monies on a daily basis can be recovered, to enable you to offset some of the crisis, the financial crisis that you're going through? Why has government folded its arms to continue to allow the loss of, a huge quantity of crude oil, of oil barrels on a daily basis? It does not make sense. So what that tells you is that there are certain people within the government that are involved in this theft, and so it is convenient for everybody to keep quiet, because it's easy when you say that. And then again, I also told you that the courts in this country have indicted in the multinational oil corporations for trillions of naira that they are owing to the federal government. And the human rights lawyer Femi Falana has consistently talked about it. Huge amounts of money that are being owed the federal government, and the federal government has been given that, at least in terms of the allowance, more or less, or the go ahead to collect this money from these multinational oil corporations, and they have not been able to do that. So you can imagine if one they had done the other part of maybe blocking the leakages in the oil sector, and then also collected money, owed the government what trillions of naira, we will not be in this situation making arguments. So what it tells you is that governance really has gone to the dogs in Nigeria, and government is now, you know, being held hostage for whatever reason.
Let's look at the statement from what the Ebonyi State Governor said in person of Dave Umahi. He said that the federal government cannot borrow for ASU,
but they can borrow for discourse.
Thank you.
They can borrow for discourse. They can take subvention from the CBN, 430 billion, and supplement for the Nigerian distribution company.
So is this an order of importance here?
Order of importance. So education is not important.
No, it's a question.
I'm asking, is this
of
an
course,
order of
obviously,
importance?
government has a different set of priorities.
Okay.
But we know
private organization, a assumed privatized company.
Okay.
Let me also help you in that direction too. Also airways. Purely some of the airlines in this country, purely private enterprises.
Yes.
Government has always told us that the government has no business in business, but they can put money in, just like he said, in discos over 1.3 trillion naira. They can put money in airlines to supplement the increase in jet exactly. And even before that, when some of them were on the verge of collapsing, they pumped in money to the airlines. They did the same thing for the banks in this country several times.
AMCON.
So what are we talking about?
The money owed by just 2% of the Nigerian populace.
But this is
money owed by the 2% of the Nigerian populace. Money they collected and used for something personal. Nigerians are paying for it. And yet you cannot borrow to fix your education.
A lot of Nigerians don't seem to know what is going on.
When I talk about shito the other time, you said, I mean, this can only happen in a shito. This can only happen. This lopsidedness and the way we are seeing and handling our future, or the futures of our children and of our youth, can only happen in this country.
When education is not important, you're talking about priorities. It's not important to them.
Important to them.
Let's
because their children can fly over.
Adiola,
until the youth started going to the airport and blocking the airport for their children from not going or from not coming back.
Yes, I understand, but let's tone down on the language here. All right, let's just tone down. I know it might get, it's normal for you to get emotional, but with this, the federal government is saying, they're actually saying that they are not aware that the federal government is broke. All right, you talked about the issue of the oil loss, 400,000 barrels. 400,000 barrels. I think almost every day.
Did you know why ASU said they are not aware? Because they see the same government spending flagrantly on frivolities. They saw the fact that the National Assembly have not reduced the humongous amount of money they are collecting every other month as an allowance. Why doing nothing? Why sitting down for 2 days and going research for 6 weeks? How can you tell such person? How can you see your debtor and spending in a party, 1,000 naira to a party that does not concern him, and you come to meet him, he said he doesn't have money.
Let me give you an example. Thank you. There was this cartoon I saw a few days ago.
Okay.
You understand? On the surface it looks about, but it's deep. That's the World Bank giving Nigeria about $5.8 billion.
Okay.
They gave the money in a bag.
Okay.
It's just symbolic to the president. The president was sitting down, written $5.8 billion. And then the man says, the World Bank man says, look, do not remove the last 2 letters from the word Nigeria and say it is. You know what it means. Once you remove
the last 2 letters.
Yes, the last 3 letters. What you have is Niger.
Oh dear.
It just in tandem with what Adiola has just said.
1.something
you
billion
are owing money to some people. You understand? You are owing money to some people.
1 billion
to your creditors. To your creditors. And you want to go to him for more money. And he looks at the way you have spent the monies he has given you. You have given 1.4 billion, 1.4 billion naira to Niger. Not to buy security vehicles, contrary to what they told us. Luxurious vehicles. State of the art, high-end vehicles. They see monies that you gave to Afghanistan, a country that is also at the same level in terms of poverty, or maybe slightly lesser than that of Nigeria and so on. And they see you spend money in this direction, and you are telling them that you do not have money. Your creditor is going to insist that you pay. So these are some of the issues. So when we talk, it's not just about sentiment, we are talking facts. The money to Niger happened. The money Diola talked about that went to the discos happened.
And they are still doing it.
You understand? So it's not about sentiment. So that Nigerians can also see and evaluate. And so when they tell you that there's no money for education, but they can make money available to other areas, and the most important sector in this country, I've made this argument, is education. The most important. The next most important is health, because every other thing is built on top of the education.
Yes.
Whether you're talking about medicine, you're talking about infrastructure, you're talking about whatever it is, everything is based on the educational accomplishments of your people. Okay. And so the higher, the rate of education in the country, the higher the level of growth at the level, at the economy and other aspects of life.
All right, so what then is the solution to this impasse between the federal government and ASU? Is there light at the end of the tunnel? Because today makes it 180 days.
Still counting. We have had 226 under the same government before. No, 227 days. Maybe we want to break another
and don't
record.
Forget,
like Amuson broke our own record at Commonwealth. This government may want to break the same record he had set in last 2 years when ASU went on strike for 227 days. Now we are in 180 days, still counting.
And don't forget that this president was very angry and upset at the ASU strike that happened under
Jonathan.
Yeah,
I have
he
the
said
video.
it's
only a non-serious government
that would allow the nation's tertiary institutions to close down and not do anything.
And they went to go and borrow, to go and approve, went for an approve for 7 billion naira at the National Assembly to do nothing. I have the video live and direct. Not that something that they was written down or say it was misquoted. No, live and direct. I still posted it on my social media platform about 2 days ago.
It's difficult to sympathize with the government. We want to sympathize with the government as much as is possible. After all, it's our government, but not in the face of these glaring realities and contradictions that we're seeing.
All right then. All right, check out time. It's 23 minutes to the top of the hour, 9 o'clock. You can also be a part of this conversation. Remember, the numbers to call is 0916 201 1053. Tempers flaring right here in the studio talking about Nigeria. 0916-201-1053. You can also be a part of this on the other number, 0905-668-1053. 0905-668-1053. We have our first caller right here. Hello, good morning.
My friend.
Yeah, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Kogi. My name is
please turn down the volume on your radio. Please, can you do that for me, please? Just turn down. That. Yeah, turn down. Yeah, talk to us. Good morning.
Think you hear me?
Yeah, talk to us. Good morning.
Good morning. I want to add my voice to the listen. Please, I meditate a bit. When they begin to talk of all these billions, trillions, and also the rest of them, and then they're telling us, that there's no money. Are they fooling who? It's only in this country, and God can never make a mistake. All of us put ourselves into this rubbish because when they were talking of particular saga, that the president does not even have, I'm trying to go to that level. But they don't value education. So something must be done. But another thing I want to say, please, permit me, Ogami. This when I passed through Ondo between Shagamu, Ondo, and that governor, Keredula, who is this medium.
Okay.
Let him call students of, let's say, 10 years now. I mean, all these graduates. Let them develop that land. But now you begin to see companies. There are companies springing up along the road.
Hold on. Are you saying that the governor should call on graduates to come and develop the land? Or what? What are you saying exactly?
I mean, all these graduates that have been looking for work for years, they can just bring them in college, then just develop those places. Let it be the state government. There are all these problems that we're having now. Those states can help us. States can help us. Let students those graduates and rest of them, and then we cannot talk of without not. They cannot eat. And rest of them. I love Akeredolu. Please.
All right. Thank you very much.
Appreciate
you. Thank you so much for calling. All right. Let's pick up more calls. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Olosiode, calling from Lekki.
All right, then talk to us. Good morning.
Yes, sir. I think the topic of this ASU strike, and it's so unfortunate. You hear some Nigerians, they'll be saying, like for example, they'll say, "Ashejulasu Tikpoju," as if like you are demanding for something which you know that is your right.
Yeah.
And the government, they are just reluctant. They don't even care. As in, I don't understand why we say we have a president.
Okay.
When we are owing China trillions of naira thereabout, then he went ahead to dash people 1.something billion naira. At least that is something. If 1.something billion is not a joke money, it's money that they can do something. Even if they can use that one to settle out of this ASU issue, is something. And now, I read one news yesterday. They are saying one lawyer, as a lawyer, you can open your mouth and say, $10, Dangote, and the rest, they should help federal government to pay ASU. Very soon they will privatize Nigeria to Dangote and the $10.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you so much for calling. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling. All right, remember you can also be a part of this on 0916-201-1053, 0905-668-1053. Okay. All right, let's move away from that to this story actually got me smiling. All right. Sarcastically, actually, from the Vanguard newspaper, saying that thieves stormed Katsina government house and they stole 31 million naira. How porous can the government house be for thieves to just storm into a fortified government house, of the state government house, and they can't with 31 million naira?
They didn't say the thief was armed now.
But according to the story, it said they stormed.
The storm. Inner thief can storm. Staff can storm.
Okay.
There's no record of harm catch there now. Tom.
But how porous?
Monkey has stolen money in this country.
Okay, you want to go that route. Okay, you want to go that lane.
Cobra swallow money in this country.
Yeah, we want to go down that lane.
So why you now wonder storm? Is it the storm? Remove the storm. Okay. Staff enter the government out and take money.
There was something stolen.
Gbenga, you know the peak, the peak or the apogee, as the French would say, of our insecurity was the attack on the presidential convoy.
Yeah, the president's convoy. Yeah.
And the reason why people talked about it is not for me. If you ask me, the president is not more important than the shoemaker on the street or any other person. The same right to life that he has is the same right to life that the president has.
Exactly.
The only reason why the president is more important is because he's been given certain responsibilities to work for the shoemaker and for the carpenter and for you and I.
Sure.
And so they give him all the necessary protection to be able to do those jobs because these jobs are very important.
Okay.
Now, and that's why people were upset that if a presidential convoy
can be attacked,
it means it can happen anywhere.
To anybody.
And truly, we have had an invasion of the vicinity of the presidential villa. I think one of the staff, if I remember correctly, in State House, one of the key staff in State House, I think his house was boggled some time ago. I can't remember the exact details now. They escaped me. And people were saying, how can it happen within the 3-arm zone in Abuja, within the vicinity of the presidential villa and so on. So what it goes to show is just what we already know. In the past few years, that Nigeria is not a safe place for anybody.
Okay.
You understand? It can happen. It's just that some places are a little bit safer than others. They are safe. And so we should be careful. Sometime last year, we did a coalition of civil society organizations. I participated in it. We had a rally, somewhere at Ikeja. We ended up at State House over the killings of Nigerians, both our security forces and ordinary civilians around the country, and asking the government to take the issue of security very serious. So we've lost grounds, and there's nothing to show. I mean, the other part of a similar situation to what you're talking about was the president's statement that the reason why he did not storm the hideout.
Yeah, that's the next. That's all I thought. That's the next story. Still coming from the Vanguard. Talk about the Kaduna train attack. Why I didn't use military force to rescue the victims. This is according to the president. All right, he met with the relatives of the victims and he assured them of safe return of all of them in captivity. But this story, do you agree with the president? All right, let me start with you, Achike, because I can see I can see you all agreeing here right now. But let me start with Achike. Do you agree with the president saying that why didn't you use military to storm? Because he said the reason he didn't do that was because to avoid collateral damage.
A convenient excuse, and I will give you a reason. The government has heard about rescues by other countries of their citizens, who were kidnapped, who were on a plane or planes that were hijacked. And some of these planes were, stormed by security forces. They had done their due diligence, and the damage was minimal. You're always going to have a theater having a lot of people in Russia years back also was taken over by terrorists. They were rescued. Minimum damage. Now, but beyond that again, so it's not as if it cannot. You have technology. It gives you an idea of where these people are, how many there are, there and all that. The issue is that once you storm, the damage might be minimal. But even if you don't storm them, the damage, the people that have been seized would also be damaged one way or the other. But beyond that is the fact that there are so many locations in this country where terrorists are that they are not having any single hostage. Why is that? Has the government not been able to storm every single one of them? Because there is no risk of killing people because they don't have hostages in those places. It's not just the train kidnapper victims that are in the bushes with terrorists. The terrorists are in different parts of this country, different territories in Nigeria, especially in parts of the north. Why has the government not been able to storm those places, especially knowing that there will be no damage to any victims because they don't have victims in those places? So these are some of the issues. I think the president is just providing excuses for his failure. It's as simple as that, and it is sad because ultimately this is about the lives of people who have done nothing wrong, who are at the beck and whose future or fate will be determined by a group of mindless mercenaries who believe that they have nothing to lose, who do not have any stake in our country. So that's it. The president is expected to provide, and this is a very ready excuse, as if in the first place, if you can't even keep them safe from being kidnapped, then you're not talking about rescuing them when they have been kidnapped. So it even becomes more difficult. They say prevention is better than cure. How does the president prevent people from being kidnapped in this country? How does he, prevent all of the unfortunate incidences and the attacks that you have in various communities in this country? That should be the challenge, because once you can prevent that, then you're not going to get to the next stage of trying to rescue people, because you would have prevented them from being kidnapped in the very first place.
Yes. All right, Adiola. Do you agree with the president? See, according to Achike, he said it's already a built-in excuse. He already had that excuse, all right, ready-made.
Well, to some extent, yes. Because you cannot, Nemundat could not abet. You can't give what you don't have. So to some extent, yes, I agree with them. They actually don't have what it takes to do that kind of commando style of, or Gestapo style of rescue operation.
I said our military, they don't have the required training to do such a rescue operation.
Maybe they do, but the motivation is not there.
Because this was a military that explored
and that's what I'm saying. Maybe they do, but the motivation is not there. You have seen soldiers protesting over allowances not being paid right there at the forefront of the war. You understand? So that's why I said maybe they do, but the motivation is not there. We were in this country, it was reported, even though it was an innocuous kind of operation they did. American was taken by this same a terrorist right there under our nose. An American was able to monitor them, get in there, took their man, and kill all the rest that are there, regardless of how fortified they might call the place they put the victim, which are an American. They went in a Gestapo form. They used their technology as it ought to be, and they are soldiers or whatever they call them. Then they have a name they call their people like that. They are well motivated. They knew very well that one American, the whole American must rise up to save that person. So it is a matter of commitment. It's a matter of patriotism.
Okay.
On the side of the president, I would say, if Yusuf was to be among them, we saw what happened when Yusuf, out of youthful exuberance,
When he had that motorbike accident.
and spent drift, had that accident. That was when I saw the Minister of Health. When we met at the Osun 2018 election, I told him, I tell you, are the worst ministers of health I've ever seen.
Oh dear.
He said, but I don't understand some things. I said, I don't want to understand. The only thing I've seen you done since you became the minister is that you escorted Yusuf to Germany and you escorted him back to Nigeria. That's the only thing I saw you doing. Show me your work and I will be able to appraise it. I told him life is from my place. You understand? So I could not have understand the state of the mind of the president if Yusuf was to be among the one that was kidnapped.
Okay, so if
Maybe
his
he
son
will
was
still
there,
have
they
maybe
would
he
have-
will still have the same mindset that he will not storm the place or he will not use military intervention if Yusuf or any of the daughter that got married recently, in which Atiku Abubakar happened to be the father of the day, has to be among those people. You see, until we beginning to value ourselves the same way. Atike said something the other time. He said he is not better than
the ordinary man.
the ordinary man on the street because it is the same freedom of movement, right to life that he has, that everyone has. And that is the way the Americans and the Senate clients see their presidents. And that is why if any man come from America and has a problem, the American president must not be able to sleep or eat until the man is saved. So if he give that excuse to him, you know why he gave the excuse? Because Nigerian people are just Nigerian to him, and they are like those people that caught them captive. But if his family, if his child, one of his children are to be part of it, if we have the same mindset, is what I don't know.
0916-201-1053 0916-201-1053. You can also call the alternative number 0905-668-1053 0905-668-1053.
You know what baffles me seriously
Okay.
is the fact that at this moment the president should be thinking outside of the box, in the sense that there should be a general acknowledgement that this is beyond us. We have done our best, and our best simply is not enough.
Should he have brought in foreign mercenaries?
No, well, that's a different argument, because there was a time it came up, and perhaps we have lost that initiative. If he had done that, I think that would have gone a long way, because those people, they call them, mercenaries, soldiers of fortune. All they need to do is pay them what they have agreed. If they die in the process, it doesn't matter. Their families get the monies and all that, And so they would have perhaps done much more, because they would have been greatly incentivized by the government. What they cannot give as soldiers, they will give to the foreign mercenaries and all that. But beyond that is the fact that, in looking at a solution, for instance, the president should by now wake up to the fact that, yes, I can't do this. I've tried my best, if he has really tried his best, and then look for ways to involve governors and states in the security, over the territories that they govern, over the states that they govern. You understand? And look for a way to empower them sufficiently militarily, and so that they can also empower their people to protect themselves and defend themselves. If this president continues to say, I cannot protect you and I will not allow you to protect yourself, then what kind of a father is he? What kind of a person is he? So these are the issues. So, and I'm trying to look for solutions. That's why, because every day I come to the studio, by the time I come back here on Monday, perhaps something else would have happened, because this is this is, another tragedy, and then we start discussing the same thing. Let us begin to hear. People are talking about the need for state policing. People are talking about the need for the people, more or less across the various states in this country, to have that ability to protect themselves and defend themselves. And you are saying, I can't defend you, but I will not allow you to defend yourself. I mean, I don't know how else to look at it.
All right now, as we coast home, just in 30 seconds, your parting shot. In 30 seconds, please.
My passage?
Your parting shot.
God, Nigeria is in the hand of God. And I am believing God for what he has said that he will do. The situation of Nigeria is beyond man. Election cannot solve it. We can only use it as a way of right to franchise. But I believe that when God steps into the terrain, he doesn't take side. He will take over.
He will take over.
I like that. She doesn't take sides. He will take over.
All right, your parting shot here.
I mean, I can't, say anything outside of what he has said, but no matter how bad it is, hope is the only thing that keeps us going. As bad as it is, let's have, even if it's a scintilla of hope, small hope, that it can be better. But remember that hope and prayers without works is dead. Let's do the work.
Let's do the work. Yes. And talk about doing the work when it comes to time, when it's time for election, please, I urge you, let's go all out and exercise our franchise, okay? Use your PVC. It is your right. Don't sell this thing. Don't sell your vote. Don't sell your PVC, okay? Go out there and vote your conscience. My name is Benga Oreshogun, and that was Freshly Pressed and Fresh 105.3 FM Lagos. We'll be back again on Monday by the special grace of God. We'll keep talking about it until the authorities that be do the needful. Have a beautiful day.
Freshly Pressed.
Freshly Pressed.
More than newspaper headlines, reviews, and previews. It's the very essence of national discourse served fresh every day to keep you abreast of events and happenings in and around Nigeria. Freshly Pressed on Fresh 105.3 Lagos.
At home, at work, or in your car, we are making your day better. Live on Fresh